Hey guys, it's David here and Foster
Hi,
in person.
I'm real.
So Foster's visiting New York, and so we thought we would take advantage of the moment
I
and
took advantage of the moment.
and do an in-person stream. So good morning to all of you out there.
Hi.
How are you liking New York so far?
It's cute to visit. I don't know why you do all this.
It is a daily effort to be here.
It's a struggle.
Hi, Caleb.
I will not accept such slander.
It is not the time to tell Foster's hot takes are wrong.
My takes are always right.
But if you have any questions for us, we will do some light discussion of All Stars. It's not necessarily the sole focus, but
It wasn't really planned.
yeah. We don't have notes. Is what we're saying.
We have a general feeling.
Yeah, exactly. Which is like mild dissatisfaction,
Disappointment, bewilderment. It's just I mean, I guess we can just like start with that.
Okay, yeah, let's just like get it out of the way.
We don't really intend to ruminate on it. I don't know that this format is going to work. It's been 2 episodes in, and it kind of just feels like RuPaul's toxic positivity race.
It is weird to see it in a competitive format, but without any critiques,
any real competition in the sense of the word. Like no one seems stressed or pressed, and whether they do well or poorly doesn't seem to matter.
Right. It's low stakes, I would say.
And if anyone else has noticed, they have them all out on the stage after Runaway to receive critique.
Right, and then
they go backstage and the judges repeat the exact same non-critiques.
Yeah.
So it's like 15 minutes of content-free gaslighting the audience into thinking everything about their look and performance was amazing. Or in some specific cases, the Prince impression was so bad that I loved it. And it's a positive.
It was bad in an ironic camp way.
I lived.
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
So funny. You're so cute.
Caleb, did you watch Drag Race? Also, congratulations on managing to get rid of your visiting guest.
I won't be doing that.
Yeah, we have a scheduled end date.
I don't want to miss my flight.
I might zoom in a little bit to us, just a bit. Okay, we're like, yeah, that's a little bit better, right? Because now we're like in the frame.
The magic of cinema.
I know, right? Also, can you hear us okay? Because I'm using a different mic, so please let me know if it's like echoey, and in that case, I will change it to a different mic.
Okay.
But yeah, okay. So, I mean, who do you think? Okay, Caleb says in a normal season, Jada wouldn't even have to had a lip sync. She would have just been told to leave and send a cease and desist by Prince's estate.
I mean, Prince would not have been mentioned at all on the show if he were still alive. So.
Do you think so?
I mean, I don't think they ever really mentioned Prince directly. It was always just like the allusions to Apollonia, I just don't see it. Prince was very protective.
Yeah, I knew that, but I feel like he would have liked Drag Race.
I don't know that he would.
Okay, fair enough. I'm not sure he would have liked somebody doing him on Snatch Game, but like doing a lip sync to one of his songs.
I don't know that he would have. I don't think he would have acknowledged.
Okay.
And I don't know that he would have appreciated it. That was still the best show I've seen in my life. I don't know if I've ever told this story on stream or anything, but outside of Minneapolis in Chanhassen, actually, where Paisley Park is, there was a show. This is in like FKA Twig's debut LP had just come out, and she did a main show, which the tickets sold out immediately, and then she did like a surprise show at Paisley Park, and I went, and then her set was amazing, and then after, the like entire wall opens up into like a giant room that's like probably the size of an airplane hangar, and then there's like couches and like incense burning and like a fog machine. And after a while, the DJ started playing, and eventually, like Prince came out and did 3 sets that were like separated quite a while. And during the third one, FKA Twigs came on stage and was like dancing while he was playing.
That sounds absolutely unforgettable.
Really incredible, like a very surreal experience. It's the best concert of my life.
The walls opening. It's just such
it's so extra,
unexpected.
But because the thing is, when Twigs performed before that, they had us like file into this like pretty narrow room. It was like kind of long and narrow with the stage, and like at the back, there was clearly like basically kind of like a very small like film projection room, because what they were doing is they played the entirety of Finding Nemo silent. So like we got there, and I got there basically at the beginning of Finding. So they played.
Wait, why Finding Nemo? Is there a concept?
I don't really know. I think it's actually just that Prince was up there, maybe with Twigs, but maybe alone, just watching Finding Nemo. They probably had audio. We had no audio. So we were just like standing around waiting for the concert to start. And I would say maybe like halfway through Finding Nemo, it became clear that it probably just wasn't going to start until all of Finding Nemo played.
Wow.
And then Twigs did come out and played her set, and then the whole wall opened. And yeah.
Wow.
It was a great time.
I mean, I wish I could have been there. I saw some great concerts in Minneapolis.
It's a good city for concerts, honestly. You get a lot of talent. First up, dress people.
Have you watched Drag Race Italia? I have not.
I have not watched much of Italia. I watched the episode that they did about Rafaela, which, spoiler alert, España also did an episode somewhat obliquely in tribute to Rafaela, and neither of them chose like an especially good Rafaela lip sync, did they? What was the Rafaela song they lip synced to on Italia? Or did they even do a Rafaela song? Can anyone?
Yes, please let us know. Caleb has not yet watched Italia, so Caleb will not be able to help us. But I see other people who are watching, and please chat with us, send us questions, and all of those things. Hi, Danny. COVID has screwed up your sleeping pattern, and you're watching. Well, welcome.
Well, I'm sorry it screwed up your sleeping pattern, but I'm glad that
we're glad to have you. Where are you? So if this is a weird time for you, then where are you tuning in from? What locality? Is locality a word? Locale?
Yeah, locality is a word, but
is it materially different from locale?
A little bit.
You're in Australia. Wow. Thank you for tuning in from Australia.
Awesome.
I've never been there.
I've not either. I've meant to go. I have a few friends from Australia.
That would be fun.
Seems cool, but I don't want to die. So
fair enough.
Glasgow.
Glasgow, work. Oh my God.
Have you been to Scotland?
Yes, I went to Edinburgh for the Fringe Festival, which was fun. That was a while ago. I need to go back. Thanks, Danny. Danny says we would both do well in Australia. Work. So what else about All Stars? Danny, did you watch All Stars 7? Do you have opinions? Caleb, what are your thoughts on the season? Do you have any favorite moments or favorite looks? I mean, Jinx's Judy Garland was iconic.
It was transcendent.
Yeah.
I mean, I struggle to see the next person who's going to top that performance. I mean, there's a handful of people who are very, very good at Snatch Game, but Jinx really has such depth. But the thing that makes me upset is that they forced them to do 2 characters.
Yeah, so it was preceded by this kind of lukewarm interpretation.
I did not respond to.
It was brilliant.
But they said everything was brilliant, including Jada's awful Prince impression. So, I mean, the thing is, conceptually, it doesn't make a lot of sense, right? Because if you're going to make them do 2 Snatch Games, it seems that, to me, is informed by production decisions that are saying, we know we have this talented cast, we expect everyone to do relatively well, so we're going to make the challenge too hard so that we have the ability to make
critique
high and low and critique appropriately. And so that we have more content so that we can selectively choose to show moments of people doing well and moments of people doing poorly. And that decision doesn't make any sense if you're also not going to allow yourself to actually critique.
Yeah.
Or to put anyone in the bottom or eliminate anyone. So
I mean, I guess it's like, again, I think that the whole no negative critiques thing was possibly part of what got these winners to come back. Like, they would agree, like, we will not critique you on TV. It will be a showcase of your talent. And so maybe enough of the cast felt strongly that, like, 2 instead of 1 characters would best showcase their talents, that the show is offering them, like, you'll get to show 2.
Who actually
sides.
did 2 characters well? Literally who? It really felt like
I thought Raja's, both of her characters were good.
Raja did well, and honestly, she deserved to be in the top over Trinity.
Yeah.
That, again, to me, that's gaslighting. I thought the devil is gay thing is honestly kind of homophobic in a way. Like, actually.
I mean, I agree. It's like South Park did it 20 years ago, and it was pretty offensive when they did it. And
well, it's not about whether it's offensive or not. It's just like, this is extremely boring.
Yeah.
And honestly, the crux of both of her characters wasn't even necessarily nailing direct impressions, giving us lines, making jokes about who they are, tying in a direct reference. It was really more playing on very established tropes about what gay people are.
Yeah.
Which are extremely tired.
I agree.
Not even really something which speaks to most gay people anymore. Like,
it felt very dated.
Yeah, exactly.
Felt like, yeah,
but
early 2000s.
But the point of Snatch Game is to make RuPaul happy, and she's a senior citizen, so I guess. But I don't know.
So Danny actually liked the Prince interpretation.
And maybe I'm just too close because, like, I'm from Minneapolis. I grew up with this from a very young age. We take Prince's legacy pretty seriously overall. I mean, I'm not from the suburbs either. I'm, like, from Minneapolis, right? So, like,
she's a real one.
Well, and I just want to say, because that is a true thing, that, like, people from the suburbs who come into Minneapolis, they don't seem to have a connection or experience with Prince ever at all, or until they are in, like, their 20s, maybe. But the look was accurate, and but it seemed like mostly what was getting a laugh was her trying not to break during Snatch Game when she was making little faces.
Yeah. So I guess they were just laughing at Jada being Jada.
I guess. I mean, to me, it would have been funnier if she had just, even if it's, like, very low-hanging fruit, just, like, pull a few references from, like, lyrics or something and pepper them out, and just honestly, like, do any kind of Prince impression. The Prince impression where he's just, like, very mystical and spaced out and just gives a weird answer all the time, or just quote his lyrics all the time. Like, I don't know. It's several missed opportunities.
Yeah, I agree. Let's move up because the mic is over here. Or you move up closer to me because you talk quieter than I do.
Okay, yeah, I can project.
Okay.
The lighting might be a little weird. But I promise I'm still here.
Oh, wait, so Caleb is saying format doesn't quite work. Eliminations replaced with blocking means that you can't have a bottom 2-3 since no one would tactically want to block someone who is doing poorly. Yeah, that actually is true. So, like, but...
So the issue that I have with the star thing and the blocking is that in many ways it's not balanced, right? So on the first episode, there was no block. So the people who win just get a star. That in itself is a big advantage overall. But then, so what they're lip syncing for is money and the ability to block someone, but it's immediately shown who they block.
Yeah.
So then next week, the incentive for someone to try really hard in a competition where you can't be eliminated is much lower. What are they actually competing for that week? Because they can't get a star. All they can get is the ability for them to choose who to give the star or the block to.
It would be much better if the block was hidden, like the lipstick votes. Yeah, and you said this during the show.
Because there's no tension right now. So if they chose the block by like putting the lipstick in the box and it was revealed at the next runway, the next episode, that introduces tension because right now there's zero. No one goes home.
Yeah.
No one's going to win until the very end. The format will confuse people and it will need to be reminded all the time. So that alone would have been a big change if it was just like hidden until the next.
Right. And then when the top two are announced, you get it's chocolate moment.
Yeah, exactly. Because then there's trying and the whole time they can set up a teaser of like, did I block her?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But also I told you as well, I haven't really thought it out, but potentially instead of a block, like, again, hide it, but the ability to like steal a point from someone if they would win the next week.
I mean, that would
also be a little bit more dynamic.
Yeah, I agree. Caleb says bring back the sad trombone. Hidden block would be drama. They do get money. I don't know. I never think of the cash prize as a real incentive because it seems a little... It's like a nice bonus, but it doesn't seem integral to the competition.
For a lot of these girls, the $10,000 on their look after tax for the tax break that they're in is like paying for a look.
Yeah.
So...
it's like
nice, not all of them, but I mean, it is nice, but also, how many episodes are there going to be of this? We don't know because there's no elimination.
Yeah,
but I don't know how, and maybe like 10, maybe 8, maybe 27, like the last season. So like
who knows?
But so that's the other thing too is like how much prize money are they going to give out before the winner, right? So because only one person is getting prize money for winning the challenge.
Right.
So
Caleb says they can expense against the prize money at least. Come on. Tax tax strategy over here. I mean, it's true. Those are all business expenses. So I guess they can pay fewer taxes on prize because they're spending so much on the competition.
Yeah.
That is a great point. Man.
You should sell these services to the queens.
I agree.
Advising them on what to do.
What else? Okay, so the first challenge was just bad. It was the group dance number. They all had terrible looks for some reason.
Well, because I'm pretty sure they probably prepared, their looks as normal. They gave them the main runway challenges and stuff. But I doubt that they gave them, like, specifics about something like that. They were probably just, like, plan for 3 performance numbers or, like, what,
right.
So, of course, on episode 1, and especially when you know that nothing matters, why are you going to waste a good look? Just pull out your ugliest, crunchiest.
It was like across the board,
it was
unwatchable looks. I mean, I think we agreed like Jada was the least offensive, or I actually thought Shay was okay. You did not like Shay's look. It was the bodysuit with like the kind of nude illusion.
Oh, her performance look. Yeah. I didn't like it. I'll be honest, I don't remember a lot of the performance looks because they were so nothing.
Yeah. I mean, the runways have been great for both episodes, I think, so far.
I would agree with that. Well,
especially episode 1.
With the exception of Evie.
Yes.
Who is going to, honestly, this is the sad thing about this format, is I think that this is not going to be great for Evie's momentum or career. Because at this point, she is doing kind of poorly. And I think she's just going to be around being the worst in every episode. And if she can't win a challenge, she's not going to have any chances to lip sync, which is arguably the thing that she does best.
Yeah.
So
that's it. Maybe they'll do a challenge where she gets to showcase that skill. Danny says, we're sorry about Drag Race Down Under. I was trying not to mention it when we were chatting about Australia. But yeah, that I would say is probably the worst season of Drag Race ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, it's World of Wonder's fault. It's not.
Yeah, it's not the fault of the Australian people. You even had a relatively good cast. They were just really fucked over.
Yeah.
Justice for Anita.
I completely agree.
Justice for Coco Jumbo.
Yeah. Yeah, that season was rough. It was so upsetting.
Well, let me ask you this, Danny. Do you think it would have been any better if RuPaul and Michelle weren't there? Because I'll be honest, season 2 of UK was good, and seasons 1 and 3 had their moments. But I think those were good in spite of RuPaul and Michelle being on the judging cast. I think the real success Well, like España is my example. I know you aren't enjoying the current season, but I really still am.
Yeah, I can't do it with the lip syncs. Are you guys watching España season 2?
Okay, they're crunchy. We
Yeah,
got
I just.
But
A fabulous queen. She should have gone further, honestly.
I really enjoy this cast, and I really enjoy the judging panel in España, and it feels very fresh. It feels like what Drag Race used to be before it forgot what it was in order to self-reference itself in a very canned way, and then started referencing the self-referencing, and then became the reality show that it was making fun of.
Right.
And so maybe I'm hoping that if RuPaul and Michelle just get tired of Australia, or maybe you can enforce some like lockdown that says they can't come, just them specifically. That maybe if you got an Aussie or specifically New Zealand as well, but a panel of queens and fashion nightlife people who are actually from Australia, that it might be better.
Yeah, like Danny, do you know of any like prominent drag or like club nightlife scene people who would be good for hosting and judging in Australia in place of?
Well, I mean, the elephant in the room is that Courtney Act shot herself in the foot.
Oh, yeah, she would have been great.
She should have been the host.
Oh, damn.
Oh, yes, I know that they did film in New Zealand. And my guess would be that they would film season 2, which is probably happening, unfortunately. Well, maybe, hopefully it's better.
Yeah, I agree.
All Stars 1 was really bad, and there have been some good All Stars seasons since then, and they have now decided maybe not again.
Not anymore.
But no, I know they filmed it in New Zealand, but also I feel like some of the like rumblings we got from the cast was that a lot of things were changed last minute. Like, I think it was actually originally supposed to be filmed in Australia.
Oh.
And then they kind of scrambled to film in New Zealand with the COVID situation because obviously New Zealand handled things extremely effectively. There wasn't a COVID.
Interesting.
I don't know if that's true, but...
Huh. Okay, so let me see what else is going on in the chat.
I'm still making you read chat for me, even though
you're here. You can read it. So Electra Shock is now judging Dancing with the Stars. Good for her. Justice. I mean, I liked her.
She's very talented.
Yeah, I thought that her dance moment was really impressive.
So the thing is, and I don't want to badmouth her. I just want to be very clear. But Electra Shock to me is very emblematic of some of the very weird casting choices. Because if I understand right, she's a very, very clearly very skilled and very talented dancer, but I don't think she'd been doing drag especially long before the show.
Right, she was like a newbie.
And on the show, she even mentioned like kind of like financial need inspiring her basis to go on the show. And she was cast along with the 2 owners of the bar that she was working at as a new queen. So I mean, she's clearly very talented. I'm glad that her star has ascended since being on the show, especially when they were kind of doing her shitty. But also, she did look really busted. So
it is what
she's never going to be in the top 3.
No, she was cast for drama. She gave them the drama. I ended up liking her and her storyline, but that's just because there were so many unlikable and cringe storylines on that season.
Well, and they just refused to get rid of Scarlett.
Right. Yeah, namely
unacceptable.
There are thousands of queens, and Courtney is a bit of a big deal. Yeah, I mean, it would be perfect for Courtney to host it.
I mean, Courtney had real crossover success. She was a star in the UK, especially. She's been on US Drag Race. Like, Courtney makes more sense than Brooklyn or Nikki Doll. You know?
Nikki Doll.
I love Nikki Doll. I do too. I'm so excited for her.
She's gotten so much shape for hosting after was she 9th place, 10th place?
I think she went home 2nd.
Yeah, so I mean that's
or
why.
3rd.
That's why. Jiggly's doing Philippines.
True. Here's the thing, though. I don't agree with that shade because Nikki Doll is talented and is beautiful, and as she said many times that she went home on a comedy challenge, but you don't know what she would do if she were doing comedy in her native language, which is very valid.
Yeah.
And ESL queens on the show in general have been getting worse and worse treatment as time goes on.
Yeah.
And that is purely something that I think production is responsible for, and I really hope gets sussed out eventually.
Well, do you think? I mean, they've always gotten bad treatment on the show. Like I remember early on, like Spanish-speaking queens would just get blatantly made fun of for their accents and for. I mean, then Alexis Mateo's impact, calling it out.
They did, but at least they would still elevate them to an appropriate placement.
Yeah.
And somewhere along the way, this stopped.
And they were just dismissed.
Yeah.
The season was crunchy as hell. Yes. Wait, which season? Oh my god, I'm losing track.
Australia.
Oh no, I think that Caleb was talking about the season that Nikki Doll was on, which was third.
Yeah, shitty pie. Shit in the pie.
Oh dear.
I like Nikki Doll. I'm excited to see what she does. I hope we get a lip sync to a Yell song. And I hope we get a lot of like 60s yeah girl music, you know, like I would like to see. I really want a France Gall song more than anything because I love France Gall. I would love to see like a very dramatic like Françoise Hardy lip sync. I'd be very happy with. So I expect them personally to do Roller Girl by Anna Karina just because that's like a very iconic song.
Okay. I don't know any of these artists. They're watching my face just like blank, zone out.
This is part of what really attracted me to España too, is because like I love a lot of like very gay Spanish music. And the music that I love from France isn't necessarily very gay, but for me, that's what gets me excited about the seasons is to think about the choices of lip sync song. And so I'm very excited to see what we get from France, especially if they continue the tradition, hopefully, that España has set of just choosing songs from the repertoire of this country.
Yeah.
I think that was the biggest mistake that Holland made.
Oh, yeah.
I know they don't have as much music.
Right.
Like, also, I'm ready for Drag Race Sweden. Let's just go, because there is no better like national catalog of music.
I hadn't considered Drag Race Sweden. Is there a Drag Race Sweden in the works?
I mean, it better be.
I would hope. One thing Caleb likes that España, the guests seem more queer-oriented rather than famous straight people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do. Although I will say that over the 2 seasons, it has kind of become like purely like the Javi's career drag race, kind of.
I mean,
like,
truly.
It's a lot of just like their friends, people they've worked with, people they've cast in their shit, which, you know, valid.
I mean, isn't that a key reason for getting a judge? Is like because they have a network of people that they can get as
True,
guests.
and like the Javis are a big deal, I guess. But I guess I would also say is that maybe the deeper cuts from like queer people from like the 80s or 90s are not well received by people in Spain. Like, I'm not from Spain. I don't necessarily know. But like for me, before season 1, I fully expected them to get Alaska. And they did. And then I do watch Marta Mama on YouTube. You guys should all watch her if you don't. Marta Mama is the best commentator on Spain. I think she has great videos giving context to a lot of the references and things. She does amazing work. But she didn't really like trash Alaska or anything, but was basically like she's a controversial figure. People don't necessarily like her because she supported some more like center right-wing causes. She's good. Honestly, I love her. I support each other. Okay?
Yeah. Not foster advertising other channels on your stream.
She does work, and she does hard work on her channel, and also I think she's out of work. So like, please go support her.
Much more work than I'm doing on this.
I mean, we haven't reviewed España, and we're not going to, unfortunately, because he's not enjoying the season. I love it. I would really love to.
I've watched about 4 or 5 episodes. I agree that episode 2, the talent show, was honestly really amazing.
Probably the best episode of Drag Race ever.
I think the talent show was probably the best challenge. The episode overall, again, that the lip sync,
it was messy.
Really brought me down.
Look, even though the lip syncs have been messy, the lip sync choices of song are still really good.
Well, that makes it all the more disappointing when they take off all of their clothing and their wigs and their lashes and just like leave it all on stage. I just can't get behind it.
I am enjoying the show for the cast, for the judging, and for the challenges. which is exceedingly rare in U.S. Drag Race.
That's fair. We have talked about España more than All-Star 7 at this point. Okay, so last point about España.
So first, don't spoil me yet either, because I haven't seen the last episode.
Okay.
Because I've been
here. Yes, please no spoilers in the chat. The only other thing that made me kind of stop watching is that the episodes feel, so they're like 20 minutes longer, and you can feel that length in moments where it doesn't need it. Like the mini challenges go on way too long.
But they're kind of fun though.
They're kind of fun, but like not to go on for 15 minutes. Like I need a mini challenge to be 3 to 5 minutes. Let's get it done.
Okay.
Let's name the winner, get to the mini challenge. I just feel like there is a lot of bloat, and I appreciate the sort of more streamlined editing that the other series have had.
I think that's valid, but the problem is that even though there has been streamlining and cutting, what you're getting in the editing on US Drag Race now is cutting out all the fun things that people actually want for forced drama and storylines, for making time for trauma talk in every episode, which España does too, which is part of why it's longer.
It goes on for so long.
I don't know. I don't mind it because I'm actually resonating with the choices that they're making. So the fact that they're taking time with it doesn't bother me.
Well, part of it is also that I'm so reliant on the subtitles that it's also just like, and they talk so fast. I don't know.
Well, it's a web show, so just like go back.
Yeah, rewind it.
I told you before.
I'll just commit 3 hours to every episode because that's about how long it'll take for me to get everything. Okay, so Danny, you like their shoes. The España shoes? Have there been notable shoes on Drag Race España?
I'm not sure.
Who's Foster's?
The shoes of the guest judges on España? Or
maybe.
I can't think of anyone in particular, but they've been turning looks.
Danny, whose shoes were your favorite? Please let us know. And maybe it'll ring a bell. Drag Race UK has the right balance. I agree, yeah. So I think Caleb is talking about the editing. Drag Race UK, like it's long enough that you can get invested with the cast.
Oh, he says they take their shoes off and they lip sync.
Yes.
Some of the lip syncs have been messy, okay, but I'm optimistic that we might get a couple that are really good by the end of the season. Hopefully, maybe.
Oh dear. Hopefully, possibly, maybe.
Oh, I was also asked who is my pick for winner of España 2.
Oh, yes.
So it's hard for me to fully answer this because I just want to say right now, Juridji Derkli has been getting robbed all season. I mean, Sharon is clearly going to win, right? Like, I don't think anyone, except maybe Benedita, thinks that anyone other than Sharon can win. She's clearly going to win, but I really, really like Juridji. I wish she got a couple of the wins or at least high placements that she deserved. I think she is giving all of the drama on this show. I think the cast are even being weird with her because she's foreign in some way. Mm-hmm. And to me, honestly, there's some parallels between her storyline and Inti where the production just is not willing to give her props when she does well and are using them as an antagonistic role, which Juridji at least does well. She is a good villain, although I don't even think she is. Her energy is much more violent. Or do you want to?
Yeah. That's okay. Oh dear. Okay, I will close the door.
So
please entertain the children.
My pick for winner, because I like to be right, is Sharon, and I really like Sharon. She's very talented. But I mean, I like a lot of the cast, right? Benedita is very talented. It's just she's not quite been excelling at a lot of the challenges per se. I like Estrella Extravaganza a lot, but I feel like I don't know. I will like her a lot more when she has toured, has a little bit more money, and is not so crunchy.
Yeah, that's fair. My thoughts are irrelevant because I stopped watching many episodes ago. I really liked the alien one, the one who came in.
Oh, Onyx, yeah, she was really robbed. I mean, she should not have gone home, and neither should Seth Last. So that's the weird thing, because I mean, let's be real. They chose strategic points to get rid of certain competition and to make the season more dramatic by getting rid of the key threats to Sharon so that she would not possibly lose.
Okay,
so
fair enough. Yeah, I liked Seth Plus. That was the robot talent, right? Yeah. Anyway, okay, so back to All Star 7, I guess. I mean, is there anything else to say? Well, let's talk about the runways, because there have been some really great, yeah. There have been some great runways. So let's give them
I was also expecting Onyx to win, yeah.
Yeah, that seemed like the setup for the first few episodes. We really liked in episode 1, Jinx and Shay. And
yeah, Shay and Maison Valentino. Or
Maison Pickle?
Oh my gosh.
They have great French
That
toast.
was a beautiful look. And I also liked your performance look a lot, which you were reading when you lip synced in episode 1.
The napkin holder. I didn't say it was bad. Listen, okay, episode 1, Shea Coulee's lip sync outfit, beautiful, but is it not giving napkin holder? With the ring in the middle and then the napkin coming out, it was giving napkin holder.
So this is a good thing. You've reminded me. This is a good thing for us to comment on. I like that they're making interesting choices of lip sync songs. One worked out and one did not. But I've been saying for a while in our season 14 reviews that I would like them to do like more ballads, more songs with difficult and challenging energy than just like a dancey top 40 kind of number. And so then choosing Ella Fitzgerald's version of Old MacDonald, I thought was really smart when you have this level of talent, because like that, it's easy to make this song funny, but it's such a different energy. So I vastly appreciate that, to them using like an Ariana song.
Yeah,
something.
I agree. I think that the songs have been a nice change of pace.
Yeah. However, I do not think Rumor Had It was a good choice at all. I don't think it's fine to choose an Adele song, but that was really bad. And
what other Adele song would you choose? I mean, like just a straight up ballad, like giving them "Easy on Me."
Maybe like "Easy on Me," but it's probably too expensive. Or like maybe "Chasing Pavements." If you want to do something from that era, is at least slightly more. It's like Park and Barky.
Yeah, a little bit.
You can do that. I don't know that I would choose an Adele song though. I would just say like maybe just like choose a ballad.
I feel that. I really liked Old MacDonald moment.
That was great.
That was a good lip sync.
That was great. I was like, okay, if this is going to set the tone, even if the episode's weird, we can get like really entertaining lip syncs here, because even if the tension's off, this is a chance for them to like perform and be funny.
Yeah.
Which you can do. You're not in risk of like breaking your knee.
Yeah, exactly.
For nothing to this song.
Honestly, maybe that is part of the reason they chose lip syncs. They chose is because they have Raja on cast, and they're like, "Listen,
girl, don't do all that.
We need to make sure that we don't have something."
I would like to see Raja lip sync again, because I mean, her lip sync with Carmen was amazing, and she didn't like do a flip or anything, and she was old then too. That lip sync's very sexy.
Man. Well, I mean, okay, so was that all the runways for episode 1? What was the category for episode 2?
The runway category?
Yeah.
Gosh,
I'm trying to remember even any of the
honestly, it was so deflating that a lot of the specifics of the episode I don't even remember. It was Snatch Game, and then the category was...
Oh, the pleather. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was a pleather moment. We liked Jinx again. It was good for her.
It was cute for her. It was cute for you.
A lot of the pleather was not pleather. Like Raja's pleather was snakeskin.
Yeah. Which it was unfortunate.
Jada was definitely the best.
Jada had by far the best look, but I think almost everyone else I didn't really like.
Yeah. You kind of liked the what is her name? Not the Vixen.
Jinx. Did y'all see the clip?
Not remembering his name. Wait, what is her name? Not the Vixen. It's the other one.
Phoebe Oddly?
No, the British one.
Oh, the Vivian.
The Vivian. Oh my god.
The Vivixen.
the Vivi Vixen. Thank you, Philip. You liked the Vivian a little bit. The white, like tattered thing that she was. I didn't.
Oh yeah, I thought it wasn't quite resolved, but I thought it was interesting choices and textures put together. So.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I am worried about the Vivian on this season. Is anyone else?
David having Rue at the conventional, exactly.
Truly.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I just love the way she chortles her name, Jinx. She's just aghast. Every time I see the Vivian in All Star 7, I remember she's there. Yeah, I think that given that she wasn't a huge focus in the promos, and her storyline so far has been very one-dimensional. It's just like, I'm the British one. We would say we're worried about her going home, but nobody's going home.
Yeah.
So
I'm very interested to see because I almost expected to see more storyline of some type between Vivian and Monet. Because they worked together on like some Netflix review stuff, which I think was maybe all filmed post.
like after this, yeah.
And they
don't
seemed
mention
very
it.
friendly.
Yeah.
But then Monet's storyline has been all her and Trinity, which this was a big mistake in my opinion.
To just focus on the tie instead of
Well, because let's talk about it. So we will all remember that Bob was very emphatic and very excited that she wanted an all-winner season and wanted to be on it.
yeah.
And then all of a sudden she wasn't. And
So you think they should have brought the Bob drama in?
and Bob has said that they didn't ask her to be on the season. But what I think the reality is, again, unfounded. I think the reality is that she was asked and that she declined based on the prize money at that time. And then later they started asking people, change the format, made concessions like we won't eliminate you or say any negative things about you at all, apparently. But then she was not asked later because at that point they had asked Monet. And for some reason, instead of casting Bob and Monet,
Which would have been perfect.
which would have been amazing,
Yeah.
they decided to cast Monet and Trinity, which is just awful. I don't think any of us need She-Devil by Night.
She-Devil by night.
She is giving us nothing. And the fact that she did the devil as a direct reference
so funny.
to her
Oh,
to
dear.
her Reddit.
Yeah, for any of you who don't know, She-Devil by Night is Trinity's alleged Reddit alter ego. where
It's her
she-
Rachel Dolezal.
Yeah. She goes on and she defends herself on Reddit.
I believe she posted saying, as a black trans woman,
etc.
Why is this person on TV?
The conflict between her and Monet.
The
is-
non-flict.
Yeah,
'cause
it's
apparently
very
they're
boring.
just going to be an alliance which has no value in
Yeah.
the show. Because again, no one's going home.
Ay, ay, ay. What a mess.
I just said I feel the casting. There were several missed opportunities because now we're robbed of the real opportunity of an all-winner season and literally all winners of actual seasons, not all-stars. I don't really want all-stars winners per se, but if you're going to do it, you cast Jinx. Why didn't you cast Alaska?
Yeah,
Because there was serious conflict between
that
them
would have been great.
when Alaska did not win.
And it's been long enough since we've seen Alaska on TV. That would be really refreshing, rather than these people. I mean, like, have you seen the leaks for Drag Race Canada versus the World? Where
I've heard some of them.
it's a full cast of 2021.
Yeah,
contestants.
everyone who is rumored to be cast, including ISIS.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to say specifics? Sorry, spoiler.
I mean, they might not even.
It might not be
real.
true. I'm hoping that ISIS is actually just being pulled for judging panel. I would actually really like the idea of like Brooke
Having some-
and ISIS judging.
Yeah, that would work. I don't know this obsession with like casting people who have just been on TV. I don't know if it's something having to do with their
Probably
contracts.
the contract.
Yeah.
But
Who knows?
yeah, no, all of the American representation that's rumored for Canada versus the World were from All Star 6.
Yeah,
And 2 of the 3 of them were from Brooke's original season.
right. Which will be awkward. And
How does that work?
I mean, that might
And
be
people
kind of
got
interesting.
conflict and drama with her as well.
Right. That'll be interesting. Danny says maybe they're trying to put Bob and Bianca on the same all-winner season. I mean, if there is another all-winner season and they use the people that, it'll definitely be better because we'll have Violet, Bob, Alaska, maybe Bianca.
I mean, there's a lot of talent left. I don't think they're ever going to get Sasha, to be honest.
She thinks she's just not interested.
I think she just was a hard pass. I could see, I mean, Aquaria is great. Honestly, like, people do not give Aquaria the credit she really needs.
I would like to see her again.
Because I love Violet as well, but Violet is a look queen. Aquaria is maybe still a little more connected to contemporary fashion. I mean, Violet actually has real fashion chops, so I guarantee if she went back to Drag Race, she would tap back into that. I don't think it's what she likes to do in her own shows. So actually, I will, but I would like to see. There's a level of fashion from a lot of the girls who are still left. like Simone. Like it's basically going to be like an actual like season 7 again in many ways.
Yeah, it'll
Where you
just be
have,
all
like,
the look queens
Violet-
and Bob.
Exactly. Violet, Aquaria, Simone, and then you have like Bob,
Bianca, Bob.
Yeah. Which is like kind of the like Ginger and Katya to round out a cast that's mostly like look.
Yeah.
I don't know that they're ever going to do this again though, because I think this might flop.
Such a bummer.
Sorry.
Okay, so I'm looking for the steamer. Caleb says there was a moment that made AS7 all worth it. I'm looking for the steamer. Do you remember this? I don't remember this.
In All Stars 7 worth it?
Yeah. The first 2 episodes, did somebody look for a steamer?
Yeah, somebody was saying, I forget who.
Here's the steamer. We've got a steamer right there. There's the steamer. We found it. Eureka, we found it.
There was a throwaway line, but I guess maybe I missed the context that made it funny. Was she like...
Jinx says it.
Was she like prying into other people's business? Like,
I don't...
I'm just looking for
that's
like
probably
that.
it.
That was going
I'm just looking for the steamer.
Honestly, we were kind of reading the episode as we were watching it.
Yeah, half paying attention. Hi, Tiz. Welcome. Thanks for tuning in. Jinx says it in the most Jinx way. I mean, she is bringing the season. I would say like 60 to 75% of the value of All-Star 7 is just Jinx being on TV again.
I mean, she won, right? She's going to win.
I would say. I mean, right?
I mean, unless this whole like star and you're going to block, and now you have a plunger, and then...
Why is it a plunger?
I have no idea. Why is it called a platinum plunger if it's gold?
So many questions. So many questions.
I'm worried that all of the specificity of the rules are designed just to make sure Jinx doesn't automatically win, and then she might end up not winning.
Eek.
Like, literally, if Jinx continues to excel at challenges the way that Ben did, which I expect her to,
right?
Everyone's just going to block Jinx every episode.
Yeah.
Like, there's no rule that says you can't block somebody again when they've already been blocked.
I mean, in theory, it could just go back and forth between the same 2 people blocking each other each week. And then what do we end up at? Nobody has any stars?
I guess, but the thing is, in order for Jinx to have the ability to block someone, she needs to win the lip sync.
Yeah.
Which she
barely
nominally won this one, but, like, kind of barely.
Yeah.
Who is she going up against that's not just going to pull out whatever stop is needed to win?
Well, the strongest spot every week is to be the runner-up. Because at that point, like, you're not choosing somebody to block, so you don't have a target on your back.
But also
you still get a star.
Be chosen. No, you get a
you
star
can't
unless you are blocked, and you can't be chosen to be blocked. So,
right.
Second place is best, and so you're right. Maybe that is Jinx.
The strategy, exactly,
is to not win the lip syncs, but to place high every week. So she's getting your stars, but you can't be blocked.
Man, how anticlimactic.
So that's
second place.
That also de-incentivizes any of them from like really giving us the most in the lip sync, which is what is supposed to be the highlight of the episode. Because if they win,
then they potentially
then they're just making people upset at them to the point that they might be blocked in the future.
Yeah, Caleb just said the same thing. I think Jinx might avoid it by being in the top since the top aren't available to be blocked.
But that means she has to do well at every challenge. There will be fashion challenges. Some of them will involve her to have created a look herself.
Oh dear.
I mean, Raj is on this season, so I could easily see them specifically stacking like season 3 and having a lot of design, construction, and person challenges.
Which I wouldn't be mad at. I mean,
come on, wigs and lace and tulle fabric.
Oh dear. Well, we'll continue watching. I mean, is there anything else from the first 2 episodes? Caleb? Who are you rooting for? Tiz, who are you rooting for? She's definitely joined Top Queen.
Caleb, I'm glad to see that you acknowledge that it is gold, not platinum.
Yes.
What the fuck?
What's the RuPaul song? Friendship Gold or whatever? Silver.
New friends, platinum, old friends,
plunger. It'd be interesting if the top 2 got to peek at what next week's challenge is before the lip sync. Yes, Tiz, so many ideas of how we could make the competition and the game more interesting.
Honestly, I think it's just they needed to reconceive. I'm fine with them having like a series that's however many episodes long where nobody goes home. But honestly, maybe just like don't even make it like necessarily like challenge based.
Yeah.
Like, we're just going to do a review, and you might get certain advantages here, and maybe some people will perform low. And if you're low so many times, then you have to lip sync to get eliminated. Like I said before any of this was rumored, whatever, what I would like to see from this kind of season was that, like, it's like a 3 strikes and you're out type of thing.
Yeah.
Where, like, if you place bottom 2 3 times, then you have to lip sync. And once there's 2 of them, they will do it. Or, like, something like that, where, like, you're not going to immediately go home.
Right.
But there are still some stakes.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so there have been a few messages that come in. Tiz says it'd be interesting to see the top 2. Oh, I already read that. Caleb, for a gay show, the blocking thing should be a butt plug. I would live. I mean,
I feel like Drag Race is trying to go away from that and catering to, like, 12-year-old girls.
Yeah, but maybe, like, if it were seasons 1 through 3 era, we would have seen that on the show. Tiz Rome, Raja, Jinx, Jada, and Evie, I think, but I love them all. Okay, work. I haven't seen too many people rooting for Evie, honestly.
Evie is a bit of a choice.
I
like her in Vegas residency. I don't think I'll be honest, I don't think she's great at TV. I think she's great.
She comes off pretty unlikable.
I think she's great. Let's talk about this, because I love Shay, and I used to be such a fan, but the more she has been on TV, I don't think she realizes how she's reading on TV.
Yeah, it's getting from, like, confident to just overly cocky.
This is really not good for Shay's career longevity or Evie.
Well, but she's delivering, though.
Or even a lot of them. I mean, just they're kind of unpalatable. Because the thing that we're realizing once these queens are on the show 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times and actually wearing couture garments is that these people have successfully jettisoned themselves into a career and a tax bracket, and they're acting like it.
Yeah.
And we don't like them as much as a result of it.
It's true. It's less of a rags to riches moment. Mm-hmm. So Caleb was Team Jinx, but it's now also Monet and Shay. Sabs, do you guys think one of the reasons Trinity was in the top for Snatch Game was because she had the plunger? So yeah, that was something that came to mind for me. So production can show that the plunger was a good idea. Yeah, that makes sense. Danny says Jinx should win as long as Trinity doesn't win and there's no time. I don't think Trinity is going to win.
Trinity has no way of winning.
Like,
I think that might be. The thing is, I wish it were more direct, because it did kind of feel like that to me too. That 1, they were explaining this is how the plunger works, but 2, it was a way of subtly saying, yes, Jinx was the only one who did especially great in this Snatch Game, and she deserves to be the only one who gets a star for it. She should have got 2 stars. She got 3 stars. But Monet easily was the second best in Snatch Game, and it should have been her versus Jinx.
Yeah. Yeah, Monet was great. There were a lot of better options than Trinity. You think, Caleb is correcting me. You're not on their team of Monet and Shay. You just think they'll do well. That's fair.
Okay.
I agree. I think that they will do well. Monet's been honestly surprising me these first 2 episodes. Mm-hmm. I didn't think that she would succeed as much as she has, but work. Tiz says that they're rooting for Evie because she has a lot to prove. So I guess that is like a rags to riches. We root for the underdog. So that's why seeing Shay or even Trinity at this point, like on their 3rd season, it's difficult.
Yeah, her Mike Tyson was great, and she didn't get it.
I didn't, because I don't know Mike Tyson.
I had to keep telling her, I'm like, this is perfect. This is amazing. And when she pulled out the ear, they like cut away from it so quickly, but her like chewing on her fucking ear.
Caleb, I think they should have given each queen a star that they could award to someone. I mean, that actually, if they wanted to go
award it to me,
right? If they wanted to go like full toxic positivity, that would be a nice way to do it. Because then it's like a game of favorites, like popularity contest.
And then in episode 7, a jury of your peers of all the queens who came 2nd place in your seasons will come and award a star. But since Trinity and Monet both win, they can each give a star to whatever queen they want. And then the jury will have a lip sync Lollapalooza Smackdown, and the winner will join the competition, and then we will restart, and all of the stars will be collected, and we will redistribute them.
Oh, dear. I mean, I think, okay, so there has been a subsect of the internet, like Gen Z mainly, that really enjoys the non-critiques.
Yeah, I don't get it. It's so baffling to me.
apparently there's been a big positive response. I'm wondering if anybody in the chat feels this way, where people are like, it's so refreshing to not see any criticism and just see the queens be celebrated on their season without being torn down by negative critiques. I feel like if everything is positive, then nothing is positive. Like it all becomes meaningless. And so I'm more traditional in that. Like I need there to be some negative critiques, some positive, so that we can understand what the actual point of view is.
More so than that, like I know we overuse this a lot, especially when we talk about Drag Race, but this actually is gaslighting the audience. It's because when you don't allow the show to speak any criticism when someone is doing bad or even, not, just less than good, you are actively telling your audience that they're too stupid to have interpreted what they saw.
Yeah. I mean, there was blatantly bad things that the judges said were great, and we're sitting there like, it wasn't even edited to be good.
Right.
Like they didn't. It's like they get the bad edit and everything right up until the critiques. It seems like a normal episode of Drag Race, and then they flip it on us and they just say that everything was fabulous.
And I said it during the episode too. The critique, because it's so long and they do it basically twice, it all feels like Ross critiques, where everything's
The
great
worst
and I just
kind.
love you, and I'm just like, I've been saying for several seasons, get rid of Ross.
Yeah.
She's not giving. I'm not living. Go away.
Honestly, replace him with Vanessa Hudgens.
No.
The way you hit that
No.
shablam, it was like, ugh!
No.
I live for Vanessa Hudgens, honestly. Even though her featuring on Drag Race.
Replace him with Lonnie Love. You've checked off
Nicole Byer,
right? You get
replaced with
Nicole Byer would be good. See, the thing is, Carson is still actually delivering in the episodes where he's there, and Carson gives better criticism on comedy than Ross anyway. Ross is there for no reason. He's there to be this style of critique, this toxic positivity shit.
Ross's Drag Race.
Nobody likes it.
I'm so into critiquing right now. Thanks,
Nicole
Danny.
was on the pit stop. She was.
It's true. I thought that she was pretty flat on the pit stop, honestly. I was a little let down.
The energy was weird.
Yeah. Ross is there to make fun of.
That's not a good reason to have him on the panel.
No.
That's what the guest judge should be then.
So Tiz doesn't mind the positive critique because they feel like they can still discern who's doing well or not. I mean, so can all of us, but it's nice for the show to validate our point of view and act accordingly.
Honestly, it's just like if you do a really bad snatch game as the boogeyman.
Oh,
the
God,
audience,
I forgot about
the
that.
audience deserves to feel heard.
Right.
This was bad. You wasted my time.
Well, also, okay, so that brings up something I forgot about. When did the rules of Snatch Game change so that they could do fictional characters?
I think it was pretty much just now because they forced them to do two characters.
And they couldn't think of two
and I
real
think
people.
they basically because the thing is, normally Snatch Game rules are there because they're trying to get rid of someone on this episode, right?
Yeah.
No one is going home. So I don't think there's any point in telling them you can't do a fictional character. You just can't do somebody copyrighted. In the future seasons, I think they're still going to impose it. Although, I mean, at this point, it also just feels like production does whatever they want, and they will do things for queens that they like, and that they'll fuck over queens that they don't. Which we should all expect. It's a reality show.
If there were eliminations, Evie and Jada would be gone. You think Jada would have gone home for Prince?
I mean, it was bad.
But her runway was, oh.
Yeah, Evie did by far worse though. So, and the thing is, if there were eliminations, I feel like they wouldn't have eliminated anyone in the first episode. So yeah, Evie would have. But Evie is very good at lip syncing. So do they have to lip sync to save themselves in this format, or do the winners still lip sync?
And they choose.
Because if that's the case, they probably would have got rid of Jada if presented with that opportunity, because Evie is a weaker competitor.
Oh, the shows we could have seen. But alas, everybody stays. Okay, so we are, I want to save some time at the end because we do have a day to attend to.
Yeah.
But now that we have a few people here, I want to do 10 minutes of Q&A. If you guys have any questions for both of us, but especially for Foster, since she's here in person, on camera for a change.
What do you want to know?
So yeah, we'll answer whatever you want to ask. Isn't this so nice? It's like old times. So, I mean, for those of you who just started watching during the live streams, we used to do reviews in person together in Minneapolis.
We did.
That's how this whole thing started. And then for a while, we did split screens where I was in New York and Foster was in Minneapolis.
Yep.
And my generous partner would help Foster to produce the video aspect, and I would like edit them together.
Because I'm not doing all that.
Right. That was a cute moment. I enjoyed that little era. That's what it's called. Caleb says even positive critiques for her second character. You look like her. Yes, it's true. Roger did look like a puppet with the arms.
I thought it was good. I know a lot of the viewers probably also don't know Madam.
She's a real throwback.
It's very old puppet character. I'm vaguely familiar with this. I thought it was good, and I've been saying Power Mechanisms. So yeah, I thought Rasha did great, and it would have been nice to actually only give positive critiques to 3 people so that she could get something out of it.
Yeah,
to feel that she actually did well instead of, oh, you're so good. We just love you. I love that you can tie your shoes. You're so smart.
Oh dear.
You know what mittens are, and I like that.
I live for Madonna, just pure joy to. Okay, so you guys are just continuing to talk about Drag Race. Give us questions, y'all. I guess nobody wants to ask questions. I have a question. How were you introduced to Drag Race? How did it come into your life? What was your first touch point with it?
I've been watching since season 1 when it was on Logo.
And so you heard about season 1 just from like promos? Like you actually?
I didn't hear about it on any promo. It was like Logo was on.
So you caught it on TV?
Yeah, it wasn't like directly from episode 1 either, but they reran it all the time. So
I see.
Yeah, so I've been watching since then.
So you watched Logo pre-Drag Race, and you just happened to?
Not really. I mean, because the other thing too is like I was relatively young at the time, right? This show debuted, I think, in 2008.
Yes, 2008 or 2009.
Yeah.
So I mean, hear about it from anybody.
You don't want Logo on the TV if like your family are around and walk in the room or anything,
right?
Right? Like it's that kind of vibe. So I wouldn't like watch it all the time, but like yeah,
wow.
I've been watching it since then.
Word. I tried to watch during season 1 because I think I heard about it from some theater friends, and then it didn't hook me, and then I picked up again around I think before season 7, I caught up on seasons 1 through 6.
Okay. I think we actually have questions.
Yes, they're coming in. Okay, so which queens would you cast for winter season 2? We kind of talked about that
a little bit, but I mean, do we want a full cast? Okay, so like I definitely want Violet, Bob. I would love to see Sasha if she would come. I don't think she's going to. I want Alaska. I don't want BB. And I don't want Sharon. Bianca. I guess the more interesting thing is like who of the All-Stars winners would I be okay with? I think Chad actually has something to prove.
Oh yeah, that would be good.
So that could be interesting. I'm sad that Bimini didn't win her season because I keep thinking it should be Bimini because in my mind Bimini won.
Right.
Yeah.
Lawrence and Priyanka would be good too. So
honestly, Lawrence, I respect Lawrence, but I don't respond to Lawrence, and I feel like if they cast Lawrence, it would be a lot like what's happening with Evie right now. I think it would be a net negative for her.
I don't know. I think Lawrence is a little more polished, and I tend to like Lawrence a little more than you, but. Yeah. Okay, so Caleb asks, how did you meet?
Oh, okay.
This is a cute story.
It is a cute story. So we were both at a bar in Minneapolis. We did not know each other. But I had requested, it's a video bar too. So, right, I requested that they play the song A Message by Kalala. And David was sitting across the bar, so like kind of like facing across. And he was like very obviously like trying to Shazam this song, and it was like not working. So I just like went over and I like told her what song it was, and we had a cute conversation.
Yeah, we talked about like plays and theater. I was in acting school at the time, and you were like talking about how you were a playwright. Blah, blah, blah.
Like not really, but in a long time ago, I used to more actively write plays. So yeah,
that's the origin story. What else? Favorite colors and favorite fabrics.
Okay. Like to wear for me for personal style, I wear a lot of white. I wear a lot of white shoes, so I tend to gravitate in that direction. Um, Fabrics is maybe a little more difficult to directly answer, just because I don't know, I have a more varied wardrobe. I wear a lot of pants that are like wide or flowy, so I like a fabric that has enough of a weight but more of a sense of movement, so nothing too heavy. I like a mid-weight like wool blend for a pant, really nice.
Work.
Yeah,
A good nitrile.
yeah. I don't know about that.
We love a good nitrile glove. Nitrile is like the like.
I know you and your nitrile glove.
We stand a nitrile glove. Okay, cool. My favorite color is blue. I'm really into terry cloth right now.
She actually is.
I've just been noticing.
She's been asking me like, is this a trend?
Yeah.
Is this a thing? And I'm like,
I've been
to
noticing
my
a lot.
knowledge, no. However, cerulean, it's trickled down.
It has. It's like everywhere right now. The terry cloth clothing.
Yeah.
Okay, so Caleb, if I were to have drinks and talk Drag Race with Foster, how long until one of us throws a drink in the other's face, and what drink?
I am very nice. I wouldn't throw. Well, okay, I'll step back. I wouldn't throw a drink in your face. I'm not confrontational like that. And for me, also, I don't enter situations like that because if anyone is going to throw something on my drink or spill their drink on me, I will lose it. And in fact, I'm not going to name any names, but
one messy girl did spill a drink on Foster's shorts.
Do not ever. They were leather shorts.
Leather shorts.
Do not ever do that because I will end it.
She was fuming. Yeah. Did you say what drink? Part of the drink. That part of the question. You can.
I mean, I vary. I usually like a whiskey drink, like a whiskey ginger or something like that. So. But all the cocktails I've had here have like not been whiskey, so I don't know.
Well, you had that like the smoky one last night.
Yeah, it's been really hot. I don't necessarily want a whiskey drink when it's like really hot.
Very warm in New York.
Caleb says,
yeah, it's cooled off. We're gonna have an afternoon in a moment. If you like blue terry cloth, go look for Sean Connery's romper from Goldfinger.
I'm worried. Hopefully it's like
a romper, a terry cloth.
I think it's probably like some kind of like tongue-in-cheek, probably ugly looking thing.
Okay, well,
I mean, yeah, I'm guessing anyway. Like, I'm hoping it's not like sexy.
I've never been a romper girl. Rompers were very in like a few years ago, right? It's like the lacy ones. Am I getting this confused? Do you remember when like all the Coachella gays were wearing this like lacy?
I remember when that happened. I feel like that's longer ago than. Wasn't that in like 2013 or something?
Yeah, I guess that's more than a few. That's like almost 10 years ago.
What an awful moment.
Oh dear. Tiz Rome says, "What's the afternoon plans without doxing yourselves?"
Moving, eating. Hold on. Nightlife, hanging out.
Have you guys seen that Lady Gaga where she's? Oh my God! What are the other words she says? Nightlife. Fun time.
I've scoped out all the important things. Shopping.
Nightlife. Eating.
No, food.
Out.
It's food. Hanging out. I don't remember all of it.
Should we tell them about Fornarina? Should we talk about Fornarina? No. The afternoon plans are shopping and eating. No, now I have to talk about it because it's going to seem like too opaque.
Okay.
There's this old Lindsay Lohan commercial where and I don't know if any of y'all remember, it's like early aughts. And I guess it's for a clothing brand called Fornarina. And so it's just a lot of shots of her looking at the camera, saying random words. Smash, pink, Fornarina. And we have been quoting it all weekend. So there's that for you. Please look it up. It is iconic. I'm now imagining Kim Cattrall's scatting work. All right. Well, I mean, this has been fun.
Yeah.
I feel like we're coming to a close unless there are some pressing questions left.
Final thoughts.
Yeah. But this has been so fun. I hope we can do it again soon. We're not committing to all of All Stars reviews because it's seeming like the season's not going to be super fun for us. Now I'm thinking about the Mario commercial Kim Cattrall did where she is horny for Mario and implies she is a furry. I've not seen this.
Okay.
I will look it up.
Intriguing.
We love Miss Kim Cattrall. But yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah, I don't visiting the UK again anytime soon, says Caleb. I'm not sure. I mean, we've talked about visiting like Asia, but yes, I would. I mean, the next time I'm in the UK, I'm sure it will be known. Usually on Instagram, I'm a little bit more active as far as like what I'm doing on a given day. So follow me on Instagram. Caleb says thoughts on the Queer as Folk reboot.
I think I'm afraid.
I'm a little nervous. I have been rewatching Queer as Folk actually, and I'm in season 2. It's a really great rewatch, honestly. Some elements are dated, obviously, but I'm excited.
I would be curious to explore it again.
Yeah. I hope the reboot does it justice because we live for the original. Really, the doors had opened, honestly. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. Very exciting to chat with you guys in person. Do you have any final thoughts?
Not really. I mean, it's been nice to vibe.
Right.
Nice to be back in person again.
Yeah.
And watch Drag Race España, everyone. I still love it. I'm gonna force you.
Take off my hair. Like, take off my shoes. Take off my eyelashes.
Take off your pelo in Turkey. Pelo in Turkey.
No. None of that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you very soon.
Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Cute.